prayerful salutations at the lotus feet of Swami. Sai Ram to all of you. It's an honor and privilege to introduce Sister Gita Ram, and it's a big task because to the Sai family, introducing her, everybody knows about her. Actually, the person introducing her needs introduction. Thanks, Ilya, inviting me. Thinking about Sister Gita Ram takes me back 20 years when I landed in this country, and one of my friends said she's speaking at Bethesda. It's a nearby center to Baltimore. I can't forget his name also because he took me to this wonderful talk by her. He took me there, and Sister Gita Ram, I don't want to go into details, the wonderful experience that she shares. She shared one experience that day where Swami guides her father and herself. Swami tells, I'll take a turn to Whitefield and you go directly to Bangalore. While this junction comes near the international airport near Bangalore, Swami says, I'll put my handkerchief, and to show that you go that way and I go this way. It is so much, prior to that I went on that road many times. But after hearing her, every time when I went, I see the car of Swami going and Swami's handkerchief like that. Because that is the way she takes us very, very close to, the narration of the experience takes us very, very close to Swami. And everybody knows that she has grown up on Swami's lap and guided at every moment. And even at the marriage time when she was doing Gauri Puja, I remember Swami, Shiva Shakti Swarupa coming there for the marriage. And again, on another occasion, I had an opportunity to drive Mrs. Gita Ram to retreat site. It was 4.5 hours one way, 4.5 hours back. I was the driver. So that is the only time I didn't speak in the car because we were hearing Sister Gita Ram. That is the only time I can tell you all that I drove well within the speed limit because we can get more time to hear. Further, please join me in inviting Sister Gita Ram. Jai Sai.
मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. Offering my prayerful salutations at the feet of our most loving, beloved Swami, I would love to say Sai Ram to all of you, brothers and sisters here in Atlanta. It is so nice to see so many familiar faces. I have been here to this center many times. And it is really wonderful to come to this beautiful, I love your church, and you have been meeting here for a long time, I know. It's a beautiful place, and thank you very much for inviting me very unexpectedly here today. I really want to say a thank you and a Sai Ram to Brother Balu, who gave his introduction of me. I've known Balu a long time. He's a wonderful younger brother, I must say. And I'm so proud that he's now our national president for our Satya Sai Centers of the Global Council. I'm so happy to see him in that position because I know how devoted and dedicated he is and how much of love he has for Swami. So it is my duty to say thank you to him as our national president. I would also like to say Sai Ram to the wonderful hosts of this afternoon for me, Brother Ravi Nakina here and his beautiful wife who gave us a lovely lunch and has invited me many times, and I have somehow not been able to make it because of the COVID. And he's our regional, your region, I think, devotional coordinator for Region 3, and I really want to say Sai Ram to him as well. for being so kind. And all of the office bearers here, Shrikant and I don't know, sir, I know that Raghuveer Vedantam is out of town, and the other office bearers here as well. Because I know that it is not easy to run a Sai center week after week, devoting your time, taking time away from your family, coming and setting up the altar, the sound system. The rest of us enjoy their efforts. So I really do want to thank the people who have come and done all of this. Having said all of that, you know, Swami has his own way of making me speak very unexpectedly. This is my first talk after the COVID years in person, actually. And it happened very unexpectedly. Brother Ravi had been inviting me, and I had said no ever since we've had our Global Council centers, and I was not yet traveling. And I was visiting a childhood friend of mine, my really close friend, childhood friend Rajini Adiga here in Macon. And somehow everybody came to know, and here I am at short notice. So thank you. It's lovely to be here also because my cousin son Nikhil is here. He's a part of your center, so it's nice to see him and his family also, and all the lovely familiar faces here. So, you know, nobody gave me a topic because this was unexpected. So here I am. And, you know, I think maybe Swami said, okay, you're just sitting there with a very blank mind, you really need to say, and very nicely Balu started off this introduction of the handkerchief. So I think I should tell you the full story of the handkerchief because he has just given you the ending of that story. So this was way back. A lot of you were not born. It was way back in 67, 68 when the Anantapur College construction was going on. I think the Anantapur College was opened in 64, 65, something, 68, right? So I was correct, 67. So this was in 67. The construction was going on. And at the same time, in that year, in 67, Swami was having the first World Conference in Mumbai. So, you know, at that time, the organization was new, it was in its infancy, it was just beginning, and the conference was happening, the national conference. And he asked my mother, and in fact, Nikhil, who is here, his mother and his two aunts, Swami asked them to come to Bombay to attend the conference there. So these four ladies left a little early because they also wanted to go to Shirdi. And I was a young kid, left with my father. My brother was studying in Manipal. And I was with my father, and my mother requested my grandmother to come. She was a small kid, 11 years old or so. And we went to Vrindavan that day. And my father used to follow, my father is Dr. Padmanabhan. He used to follow Swami. He used to be with Swami. He was a dental surgeon by profession. And he had to be there very early when Swami comes down from the room. And he had to be there when Swami opened his door. So we had to be in Vrindavan at 6:30. We left Bangalore and went very early. And my father, being the male person who didn't know in which part of the house the kitchen was located, the traditional elderly Indian gentleman who depended his wife for his coffee and everything else, said, look, let's not bother with breakfast because I have to be in time for Swami will come down. On the way back, we will go to this restaurant called MTR. Those of you from Bangalore or have been in Bangalore will know, very well-known restaurant of this. I'll take you to eat masala dosa over there. So just come now. So we went to Vrindavan and we were there in Darshan. Swami came and he saw me sitting there with quite a long face, I suppose, as a young kid, 10 years, no breakfast, and sitting there in Vrindavan. And Swami came and told me very sweetly, why do you have such a long castor oil face, as though somebody has fed you castor oil. Why are you sitting with such a long face? Are you hungry? He said. So I was this prattling youngster, which I continue to be, as Brother Balu just indicated. He didn't know 8 hours of driving. So I said, yes, Swami, Daddy did not give me any breakfast this morning. So he said, oh, that's too bad, that's too bad. He has brought you here. He said, I know how to make you smile. I'm going to Anantapur now because the construction is going on. You come along with me to Anantapur to see the construction. So you can imagine this kid, several children here. I'm a 10-year-old, 11-year-old kid. And suddenly, from this no breakfast situation, I'm going to go with Swami to Anantapur there. And he called my father, who was just behind him, and said, you and Geetha Ma, both of you, you come with me to Anantapur today. So Swami finished his darshan, got into the car, and we left for Anantapur, went there. And my father, who was a terrible singer, I don't think he knew the difference between talking and singing, really. We were following Swami's car, and we could see Swami's hair in the back windshield, and my father insisted that I should sing. I think he did not just want to hear me talk, which is what I generally do. So he said, you have to sing. See, I said, I cannot sing. There is no picture. There is no Swami. How can I sing bhajans? He said, see, there is Swami's hair. Just look at his hair and sing. So we were following Swami's car, and I'm singing. He doesn't follow because he doesn't know how to sing. So I'm trying to sing the first line, repeat it, second line, all this is going on. And we crossed Devanhalli where the airport is, and we are closer towards Chikballapur. And suddenly Swami's car comes to a stop, parks on it was a small road in those days, not this big road. And Swami gets out with no footwear or anything and lot of thorns. And he comes to the passenger side of the car and asks my father for me to bring the window down. And he says, you don't know how to sing bhajan, but you are continuously making her sing bhajans without even giving her breakfast. He said. So he's in the front car, we are in the back car. And he opens the trunk and gives me some fruits, and he says, I know that you don't like apples, you eat it. As soon as we reach Anantapur, I will make sure you're fed. And he told my father, you don't ask her to sing. She need not sing when you're not following. So he got back in the car, we reached Anantapur, went around the building, and as soon as we went there, Swami showed us the whole building. It was still under construction, and there was that beautiful mural being painted. He showed us, and then Swami's family had organized lunch for Swami. They had brought all the food from Puttaparthi to Anantapur, and they had set up one of the classrooms with a table, with a silver plate and cup and everything for Swami to eat, and of course for other people also in the next room. And as soon as we went upstairs in the first floor, in fact after many years, about 4 years ago when they had invited me to speak at Anantapur, I said I want to go to that room again. After 1967, that was the first time I was going to the Anantapur college after the inauguration. So anyway, that room where Swami's food was set up. We went there and Swami's sisters, Parvatama and Venkama were there. Chittamma, their daughter, was there. And they had set up and they all were ready to serve Swami his food. Swami took the silver plate and started to serve himself as though he was having a buffet. And the food was on the side table. They were going to serve Swami. And they kept saying, Swami, Mir Kuchandi, you please sit down. We will serve you, we will serve you. Swami said, no, no. And he put some dishes into the plate. And then he gave me the plate and he said, you sit down and you eat, he said. You should have seen the shock on these ladies' faces. This is Swami's silver plate, this is his cup, they have the table, but he's put all this food in his plate and he's asking me to eat it. They were all like, no Swami, we have another room where they can all eat, you know. You know, this is the Swami that we all love, right? The mother that we think that a mother should be. He said, no, this child left Bangalore at 5:30. She has come with her father with no breakfast and I have brought her here to Anantapur. Let her eat first. I will eat later. And as much as I begged Swami that please eat Swami, I will eat in another room. He said, no, I told you as soon as we go to Anantapur, I will give you food. You must eat food. So Swami put all this food and he skipped a few dishes and he said, don't think I am skipping the few dishes because I want them. Those dishes have garlic and you are allergic to garlic. So I have skipped those dishes, that's all. He said, and he served and of course I could barely eat. Finished the trip to Anantapur, we returned back late in the evening to Bangalore, and it was very sad because I had to go back to Bangalore and Swami would go to Brindavan. So as we were getting into the car, he actually brought me for a ride till from Anantapur till about Penakonda. I came in Swami's car. He said, you come with me, and then after that we switched and I went back to my father's car and I was in tears. I said, Swami, I don't want to go home. We will come to Brindavan only. He said, no, it is late in the night. You go to Bangalore. but when we come near Devanhalli, I will make a left turn to Vrindavan and you will continue straight. But it's very dark and you won't be able to see my car when I make a left. So I will wave my handkerchief from the window. You can wave to me and you go home. Tomorrow morning you come. So that is the turning where Swami took his left and I continued straight, which Balu was just talking about. The reason I thought that I should probably bring up this is that, in this journey of our life, there are so many roads to take, But if we take the road and we are just behind Swami and follow him, you really don't feel the hunger. Actually, till Swami stopped the car and gave me the apples, it didn't even bother me. I was looking at that hair from the window and I could sing with or without the food. And then you come to Anantapur and you follow that path. You come to Swami, whether it is Prashanti Nilayam or you are behind Swami. And of course for me the physical form was very important because from birth I grew up with that form in front of my eyes. And I cannot imagine being away from that part of the world, Prashanti Nilayam and the areas that I grew up as a child. But when you follow him, the hungers of this life that we all have, whether it is food or difficulties or whatever it is, he will take care of us first, even before he takes care of his own comforts. He will take care of us. From his silver plate, he fed me first and made sure I did not get the garlic dishes which would make me allergic. So follow him where he is. And then, when I did not really when I had the yearning that I don't want to leave him, I want to continue going with him, I want to be where he is, he said, I will. Don't forget, I'll wave my white handkerchief to you. Keep that image and continue. So I thought that if all of us, we have all taken many turnings now with all of these different centers going in different paths, but when we keep our eyes there where he is, and it's an important place where he is, his physical form was there, he taught from there, he lies there even now. If we keep our eyes on that, I think we will all do well. I think today maybe Swami wanted me to talk about journeys. Actually, before I talk about another journey that Swami described, I really must tell you that you are all such a blessed crowd here to be in this center. Because once Swami and I had a discussion about this center, this was many years ago, many years ago. They had invited me here in Atlanta for a one-day mini retreat. I think it was in 2000 or 2002 or something. I'm really poor at dates, I'm sorry, I'm sure I'll find it somewhere written down. And they had asked me to speak here at a retreat. They were not, it was in another different place because it was a larger crowd. I think they had invited other centers. And I spoke here in Atlanta and the talk was over, and at the end of the talk in the evening, I was supposed to go to a family where we were supposed to have dinner. I was going to stay there with them in the night and then leave the following day. So the Sai devotees, the brothers and sisters who had set up the altar, very similar to the one that you have here, they said, Sister Geetha, you go along with the host family. We will join you once we dismantle all of this and put away everything. But the president of the center made me promise and said, when you go there to their house, do not talk till we come. You have to just sit there and be very quiet, sister, we don't want to miss anything. I said, no, I won't talk, don't worry. And so this was the thing, and as we were talking like this, a African-American couple, they came up to the president and they said to him in a language that at that time I did not understand. They said, thank you very much, I think they said. Thank you very much for organizing this particular program. We really enjoyed it. So the president at that time said, no, I'm sorry, I'm not able to understand you. Let me call one of my friends who speaks French. So they called him and he said, he's telling me something I don't know. And he said the same thing to him, that thank you very much, it was such a wonderful program. And he replied and said, thank you. So then that couple turned to me and started to talk to me in French, and they said, I guess, that the talk was good and they were thankful and all of that. And I said, anyway, thank you very much. I just said thank you because I kind of got what they were saying, and we left. I went to the host's family, and then after about 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour, these people dismantled and they came. And they sat down there and we were all chatting, and they said, Sister Geetha, that couple that you just met, they continue to thank us in French. I don't know French. The other person knows French. So they said thank you. And one of the this is what the gentleman said. One of the funny things that he said was that, we just moved from Congo in Africa to the United States. We used to attend a Sai center there, which was conducted in French. And we used to enjoy the bhajans and the discourses and the study circles. We've come here about 6 months ago, and we have not been able to come to the Sai center. We came once or twice, but we cannot understand English very well. So we didn't understand anything, so we stopped coming. And then about 2 days ago, one of our friends said, hey, why don't you come for this one-day mini retreat that they're having? And we said, no, we don't understand English very well. There's no point driving 1 hour. We don't understand. And our friend said, it doesn't matter if you don't understand. Just listen to the devotional songs and just enjoy the atmosphere. And we came here, but the lady spoke such beautiful French that we were so thrilled that we came. So this said, no, you just met her. She just told you she didn't speak in French. They said, no, we heard the whole talk. And she spoke in French. And this man, didn't know quite what to say. And he said, no, she didn't speak in French, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. They said, no, I can tell you what she spoke about. And he quoted a couple of incidents that I had spoken in my talk and said, didn't she say this? Didn't she say this? Who is this lady? They didn't know me. Who is this lady? Didn't she say all of this? We understood and we don't know English. So they said, Swami must have made you understand, or some such conversation. They came home and they said, Sister Geetha, this was the most funny thing that happened. Whatever, they said, you spoke in French. So I just literally joked and said, now I'm started to speak. Swami has asked me to go all over the place. Now I speak in French, I speak in Spanish, and I barely know proper English to speak, but I'm doing it. We had this kind of a conversation, which was very light-hearted. This was, I think, in the month of April. I know it was sometime during Easter. Then July comes along, and I went to Puttaparthi. I, being a school teacher, would always go in the summer to Puttaparthi, to Bangalore, where my parents lived and my in-laws lived. And I went to Prashanti Nilayam. And as soon as I was sitting there, Swami called my family in for an interview with several people there. And he introduced me to the other people. He said, this is Geetha. I have given her name, I have got her married, I have done this, that. She lives in the United States now, he said, and they all said, and he introduced them to me. So it was about 10, 12 people in the interview room. And Swami was conversing, and suddenly he turned to me and he said, Chala baga French lo matladnavu. You spoke very well in French. And I said, what is this, Swami? This is, some people also said like this. At the Atlanta Center lo kadu? He said, is that not in the Atlanta Center? I said, yes, Swami, they had a mini retreat. I had gone there. Somebody told the president that he understood everything, Swami said. I said, yes, Swami, he understood everything, but they did not know English. They were from Congo, and they said that I spoke in French. So Swami said, "Nen chappaledu, language of the heart. Language of the heart. You speak with devotion. The people who hear will hear what they have to hear. They will listen to what they listen. They heard you in French because they had been crying for 6 months to listen to Swami's glory, to listen to Swami's bhajan, to be a part of a Sai center. They were praying and yearning to Swami every day. Swami, where can we find a place where we will feel comfortable. And they came to that retreat and they heard you in French. Why do you think they did not hear you in French? Atlanta Center lo baga vinkunnaru. He said, in that Atlanta Center, they heard very well. So this center was discussed with me by Swami. Then he said, not only in the Atlanta Center, in a center in Bath Telsa, he said, this is Bath in UK. One couple heard you in Russian. He said, I said, what is this, Swami? I am unable to understand. He said, there was a Russian couple when you went to UK last year. They heard your whole talk in Russian. I said, okay, Swami, whatever people have to hear, you will make me say. So, I want to say that when we meet here like this, for our devotional meetings, we don't realize the impact that we are having on our brothers and sisters and what impact Swami is having through you on those others who are sitting here. So it's a wonderful thing that you are all doing coming here, and also the beautiful, you have all of the prayers in the beginning of your service. You don't know what impact Swami is having on your brothers and sisters sitting here, in what way he is impacting them. So we cannot take this fantastic organization that Swami has given us so that we can pursue our spiritual journey. We are all born here for a reason. We have our professions, we have our families, we are born in certain families, we are given certain names and a path is carved out to us. But what he has in his mind for us, we don't know. So when we try to lead our path in this way, so I started out with journeys and I said I will narrate another journey that happened to me. There were a couple of them where this journey thing, I think Swami put me with Balu talking about it. Swami, the big lesson that I have learnt in my life is that Swami is with us every moment of our lives. He knows every thought, every word, and every action that we do. I have repeatedly experienced that. I spoke for 3 minutes extra in Chicago in 1999. I was speaking, they had told me to speak from 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock. I was finishing up a story, I finished at 5:03, there was a clock in front of me. I went to Bangalore 1.5 years later and he said, 3 minutes your time, 3 minutes into 282 people there wasted. He told me. You have taken he didn't say wasted, he said you have taken 3 minutes extra of the 280 people who attended that program. You multiply that. So he knew that I had spoken 3 minutes more than my allotted time. This is the Swami that we are all fortunate to have come to know. In one particular retreat, you can see that my hair is short. At this age I am wearing a hairband, being a reason. I went to Puttaparthi 2 years after that retreat and he was talking to us in the interview room. And he said, what is this haircut you got this time? Bad haircut, he told me. Bad haircut. I said, why Swami, what? I always had short hair. So he was not upset that I had short hair. He told me that it was a bad haircut. I said, why Swami, what is wrong with it? He said, what is this? You gave a talk there. Nobody was listening to your talk. No, I said, Swami, what? Swami, did I make a lot of mistakes when I was talking? Throughout the talk, pushing the hair back. This is all you did. Your hair was coming in your face and throughout the talk, you are pushing your hair back. Lot of people in the audience were feeling they want to give you hairpin. Pushing your hair back, in Telugu, he said so many. Distraction. When you are talking about Swami, thought, word and action should be on Swami. Why on the hair, chira, this and that, if you are thinking about it, the mind cannot absorb. So the reason I am telling you this is, let us not take it at all very lightly that he knows each and every one of us. He knew that I had a bad haircut in Chicago or wherever that was. And I just listened to him. This was 1.5 years or so after that talk. And you know, this mind is such a mad monkey. I was like, really? I mean, I was really irritated that day when I went back to my room and I told him that really? I mean, he said this in front of everybody in the interview room. Seriously, did I move my hair that many times that he had to bring out my haircut, my bad haircut in front of a group of Sai devotees in the interview room? My mother said, I don't know, that's between you and him, I don't know what you did. And then those people sent me a videotape of my talk after, you know, in those days a CD, I think, whatever, to DVD. They said to Sister Geetha, this is the talk that you gave in the retreat, and they sent me the DVD. So, you know, the mad monkey mind is still thinking, you know, 2 years ago, what is he talking about? I put the DVD, and brothers and sisters, I counted it myself. I gave a talk for 1 hour and 30 minutes, and in that time, I have moved my hair with my hand 42 times. Certainly a bad haircut day. So he knows us, you know, he knows each and every one of us, what we are doing, what good things we are doing, what we are thinking, everything. So I was a little kid, this Bal-Vikas program, he made me into a Bal-Vikas or a SSSE guru at the age of 14. My good friend here, Rajini, would help me once in a while with my SSSE class. In those days, 70, the SSC program was not still a formal program, it was getting formalized. And my mother, Swami made her, Kamala Padmanabhan is my mother, Swami made her into the Bal-Vikas coordinator for the state of Karnataka in India. And one of the jobs was to go to small towns throughout the state of Karnataka to train people to become gurus. Because there were no gurus. We just did the class in any old way we want. It was a mixed class. There were, I had a class of 43 children from group 1 to group 4. I conducted it alone for many years because there were no gurus to assist me. So that's how the beautiful program started. And one particular time when all this training was happening in various parts of Karnataka, my mother organized a guru's training program in a place called Davangere, which is quite a big city now, but in those days it was a small district headquarters. It was a small town, and in those days most of the Bal-Vikas or the SSSE program was Swami had asked the ladies to become the gurus because he felt that women have a natural instinct to deal with children. Women are mothers, grandmothers, aunts, they're used to nieces and nephews, they like to tell stories, so they have a natural instinct. And he had started out the training programs for the ladies. But in Karnataka at that time, or in India at that time, it was still not such a modernized, shall we say, times, and not many ladies from small towns would come for these training programs. You know, they were all homebound, they were housewives. And so my mother would go and actually talk to the men in the Sai Center and try to convince them to send their wives for the training programs, or their daughters or their sisters. So it was going on. So one particular time in this Davangere, at that time, the education minister of Karnataka was a lady called Nagama Keshavmurthy, who was an ardent Sai devotee. And she wanted to introduce this beautiful education in values program into the school system as well. So when my mother organized a training program in Davangere, she said, I will invite all of the school headmistresses, principals, school teachers to come and attend this training program. So from a small training program of some 10-15 ladies, it boomeranged into becoming a huge program with the Minister of Education coming and lot of renowned educationalists coming there for the program. So my mother, and in those days, Swami would go through who were all the speakers speaking, which topic would be the speaking, how long would be the Swami took a lot of interest, especially in the beginning stages, to make sure the programs went well. So we were in Vrindavan. I had the wonderful good fortune, I think at the age of 15, 16, to become a scribe, you know. Swami used to, for a while, Swami used to call me Ganeshi, because he would dictate to Dr. Gokak and C.N. Mangala and all these people the curriculum for the Balavikas, and he would ask me to come after college and I had to write it down. Those were the days when still the college was still a young college, the boys were very busy. There was a small group of students in Vrindavan, the Puttaparthi college was not there. So I used to write down. So I used to go there every evening, and that particular evening my mother came, and we were in this small room in Vrindavan with Dr. Professor Gokak, who was the Vice Chancellor at that time for the Bangalore University. I still remember the picture so well. So he was there, C.N. Mangala, who was a famous principal, very great writer, very well-known educationalist in Bangalore. So there were several people like this. G.P. Rajaratnam, who was a great poet. Many people were there, and they were all a part of this curriculum committee. So we have come a long way, you know, from those days to now. The SSC program is so beautiful. I know that the Guru's training program is going on right this weekend at our national level. Those of you who would like to take training, you should sometime. But that's one way to serve Swami. So we were doing that, and he invited my mother in that room. And my mother thought this is a fantastic opportunity. Swami sat there and asked her who is speaking on truth, who is speaking on non-violence, who is speaking on right conduct. She was giving the names of all the gurus. I was one of the speakers of those days. I was one of the youngest, but because there were nobody else, I was one of the speakers. I was supposed to speak on non-violence. So my mother gave all the names. He said, oh, very good, all these people are speaking. They were experienced speakers also, these other ladies. Then my mother very hesitantly said, Swami, the education minister is coming, Nagama Keshwamurthy. Lot of principals of colleges and schools, all non-devotees are coming, Swami. So I need a keynote speaker. For that, you must please allow one of the professors or somebody from the college, Satya Sai college, to come as a keynote speaker. And her eyes was on Dr. Gokak, her eyes was on G.P. Rajaratnam, C.N. Mangala, who were all in that room. Rather than my mother asking them, will you come as a keynote speaker, she thought it's easy if Swami says, Gokak, why don't you go? Or C.N. Mangala, because they will agree. They have to come to these small towns, which is a long drive. So she was hoping, and everybody said. So I was busily writing down, mother asking for keynote speaker, all that I had to write down the minutes. And this was going on, and suddenly Swami in Telugu said, no matladu, he said, you speak, he said. So I'm writing, thinking he's going to tell the name of the person, all these famous people are there in the room. And he says, you speak. Twice I lift my head, he hit me on my head because I was sitting near his step stool like that, very good. You speak. Me? This is a huge conference with the principal, and I am like 17 years old. Me? And you should have seen my mother. If she could wish that I was not in the room, that would have been her wish that day because her jaw. And she's saying, no, Swami, not her, Swami. I want somebody who has the wisdom to. And the topic was Paramanandake Prasthana. That is the topic those people had. Paramanandake Prasthana. Prasthana means journey. Paramananda is eternal bliss or eternal happiness. Paramanandake Prasthana. This is the topic, the theme of that conference. So my no, Swami, not her, Swami, she's already speaking on non-violence. What are these people here? So Swami, then again Swami is making straight eye contact. No matladu. He said, you speak. I said, Swami, I don't even know the meaning of these long words, Paramanandake Prasthana and all that. You have to speak in Kannada. And even though my mother tongue is Kannada, I can speak Kannada, born and brought up in Bangalore, I cannot give an actual lecture in Kannada. And Paramanandake, that too, eternal bliss and all that sounds like really words which none of us have really experienced. So I'm like, I'm not cannot speak in this, Swami. I don't even understand the name of the topic. So he says, this is why. What does it mean? You tell me the meaning. He said. I said, I know Paramananda means happiness, I said. Actually, he said, no, not happiness. It is not happiness. Happiness keeps changing. It is not happiness. Then I see, Swami, I don't know. That is why I cannot speak. That is why I cannot speak. And my mother is immediately nodding her head. Yes, Swami, she cannot speak. So then he turns to Dr. Gokok. You can imagine the poor man's awkwardness because their jaws are also dropping. Here is this 17-year-old, 4 foot 11 inch tall girl being asked to speak in where the chief, the education minister and all are coming. So he says in Kannada, Yen Gokok, matadlilla. What do you think, Gokok? She should stop, don't you think? So poor Gokok is like, whatever you say, Swami, which means it's a bad idea, right? Then he turns to G.P. Rajaratnam. G.P. Rajaratnam. What? Papa Chikkaudu, Swami. She's young girl, Swami. You're putting her in a difficult. So everybody gave their opinions. Then Swami smacked me on my cheek. Why are you saying you want to all your life sitting and listening to me at my feet? Now one small talk you have to give, you are saying no for Swami's work. I said, no Swami, I am not saying no for Swami. So I can't talk about this one. So he said, okay, it is very, very easy topic. Easy and easy. I remember, easy and easy. I'm almost in tears and he says, I will tell you in 10 minutes. You can tell in 15 minutes. And that's all you have to do. So there is like dead silence. And Swami gave this beautiful discourse for about 10 or 15 minutes as what is our journey as our human beings born in this human body. And today I think I should share because you have all made a journey to Prashanti Nilayam. You have gone there, you have enjoyed the pilgrimage, I'm sure many of you have gone there. And what a wonderful journey Swami describes it is to Prashanti Nilayam. So he said, so what is the journey that we must take? Let us take an example, he says. So you are in Bangalore and I know you like to come to Puttaparthi. You like to come to Puttaparthi, kada? That's a journey. That is a journey. Yes, Swami, I like to come to Puttaparthi. So what do you have to do? Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is 70s, all that beautiful road that you all experience now was not there then. The last 22 kilometers was a difficult journey even in the 70s. Till Swami's 50th birthday, the roads were not so good. So, okay, you want to leave Bangalore, you want to go to Puttaparthi. Why Puttaparthi? He asked. Why? Because Swami is there, right? Swami is always in Puttaparthi. You want to come to Puttaparthi because of that. Yes. What is the name of the place where Swami? Prashanti Nilayam. That is Prashanti Nilayam. What is Prashanti? Eternal peace. When you have peace, you have bliss. So, Prashanti Nilayam is Paramananda. You can call whatever you want. So, here is the journey. You want to go to Puttaparthi. So, to go to Puttaparthi, there are many roads. Penakonda pain pochu, Chikkaballapur pain pochu, Palsamudram. He is giving all the names of the villages of those days. You can go via Penakonda, you can go via Palsamudram, all these things. There are many roads to Puttaparthi. But the most important thing that you require is, first ingredient, you must have faith that there is a place called Prashanti Nilayam. If you don't even have the faith that there is a place called Prashanti Nilayam, you will not start the journey. So first you have to have faith. There is a Prashanti Nilayam and then you have the yearning. I want to go there. So these two things. Then third thing, you want to go. Road you need. 3-4 roads are there. What are these roads? Karma Marga, Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga. He says the path of Seva, the path of Namasmarana or devotional singing or thinking of the Lord's name at all times. Jnana Marga, the path of sadhana or trying to practice and live the messages of the Lord. So these are the 3 paths. But you have to start. How will you go? You need vehicles. In those days, Swami says, can go by bullock cart, ఎద్దుల గాడిలో పోవచ్చు, రైల్లో పోవచ్చు, బస్సులో పోవచ్చు, కార్లో పోవచ్చు. He says you can go by ఎద్దుల గాడి, that is bullock cart, or train or car, you can go. What is this vehicle that you are going to see? ఎద్దుల గాడి చాలా slow. This bullock cart is very slow. Car is little faster. Bus is around. So you need this. Which is that vehicle? ఈ బాడీనే వెహికల్. This body is the vehicle. This vehicle has been given to you because of your past janma. You have got a particular body because of all the karmas you have done in many lifetimes. You have got this body. It may be tall, short, dark, brown, white, black, whatever may be the thing, or you may have other qualities, skills. All of that has come from past prarabdha karma. All the past lives karma you have. So you already have a vehicle which has weaknesses, which has strengths. You are born in a house. Then, okay, Puttaparthi, you will go. How to go to Puttaparthi? You have to go for 2-3 days. You need luggage. You need a luggage. You need a suitcase. What is that? You already have so many clothes which you have brought all the vasanas from past lives. I like this, I like that, I don't like this person, I like that person, I like music, I don't like. All those vasanas you have brought in the suitcase already. And now that you have the suitcase, you won't keep quiet. In those days, in Puttaparthi, nothing was available. We used to take everything from Bangalore. So Swami said, oh, we are going to Puttaparthi kada. Sambar powder kavala, coffee pudi kavala. We need sambar powder, we need spices, we need coffee powder. How to go to Prashanti Nilayam without all this? So you add all that to your luggage. As it is, you have come from past life luggage. To that suitcase, you are adding more luggage. The attachment, brother, sister, husband, wife, pilla, all husband, wife, children, coffee pudi, sambar powder, all these attachments you are adding into that suitcase, making your luggage very heavy. And as it is bullock cart body, then this heavy luggage, sorry, you are starting the journey. Then which road to go? 3 roads. Okay, we will go via Chikkaballappuram. Then you'll say, such a long journey. We are starting at 7 o'clock. Such a long journey. It is better we take some company with us, Let us take some friends or relatives. So attachments anta unnai kada. Husband, wife, children, anna, tamudu, friend, all this, Swami is telling in Telugu. Husband, wife, all these attachments. Sangha, friendships. So all these attachments you take in your car. So now you have a vehicle which is your body. You have the past karmas and your attachments as luggage. And then you have the Sangha, community to go with you. That Sangha could be mixed, that friendships, that people that you are mixing with, it could be mixed. Good people, medium type people, bad people, we don't know. They are all coming with you. You start the journey finally. Because why? You have the yearning. You want Prashanti Nilayam. You started. Then you are coming. You will be going for some time. Then one fellow in this satsanga that we have, hopefully it is satsang, we have one fellow will say, hey, we have started at 7 o'clock. I say, Swami's darshan, evening darshan is at 5 p.m. Let us start at a stop at Chikkaballapura, Penukonda, eat some masala dosa, drink some coffee. Let us go there. Then one other fellow will say, why there? Let us go to Lepakshi. These are all towns Swami was mentioning. Let us go to Lepakshi on the way. Beautiful paintings are there. Shiva temple is there. So this distraction comes on the way to this Prashanti Nilayam. Some distraction. It could be any distraction. We cannot think about it. You go there, you eat nice masala dosa. Ladies will go shopping for saris because Lepakshi saris are very famous. Then they want matching bangles. So all this is going on. Lepakshi. Then somebody will say, suddenly in that satsanga, if you have a good friend, they say, hey, it is becoming 1 o'clock, we will miss evening darshan. I say, get going. What is this spending so much time? So that one good friend will bring you back to the car. Everybody piles in and you go. That is what you will become. The other fellow, after you go a little while, they'll say, hey, I am 100% sure this is not the road. This is not the road. We taken a wrong road. We should have taken 2 exits before itself. Those days no exit. Narrow road only. We missed one road. Swami, then they say, no, he's correct. We have taken the wrong road, because no signs in the old Puttaparthi days I'm talking, no signposts are. So this fellow will tell you, this is the wrong road, let us go in the side road. So the car will turn side road. See, these are the distractions of life. Palasamudram pai potam. It says, let us go via Palasamudram. That's another village. You all arrive in Palasamudram and you don't recognize the road. You ask some fellow there, Arey, we want to see Satya Sai Baba. He's in Prashanti Nilayam and I am come here. Which is the road? That fellow says, you have taken the wrong road, I say. Why did you come in this road? There is no direct road to Puttaparthi from Palasamudram. You have to go back to the main road and continue there. So Swami said 30 kilometers. He took after 30 kilometers back. You have to go 30 kilometers, you are coming back. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Jananam. Why? You have taken all the wrong turnings in your life. So you have to keep coming back. These attachments are telling you, come back. This fellow giving you wrong advice, taking you to the wrong road. So come back 30 kilometers. It could be 3 lives, it could be 30 lives. We don't know. Come back. Then again main road. Why? Yearning is still there. That Atma wants to go to Prashanti Nilayam. Finally, after going with all this, Swami said, suitcase, holdalu. You know, in India, these youngsters will not know. There is something called a holdall, which is like your sleeping bag. You know, we used to put everything in there and wrap everything. Everything would be in that holdall. And under that place where the pillow goes, we used to have our sambar powder and all that. As children, our parents, you know, they used to put sambar powder, coffee powder, everything where the pillow goes, we had to sleep on it. Anyway, so Swami said, holdalu, suitcase, everything you have taken. Finally, you have arrived because of the yearning. On the way, toll. Now there is a toll gate. In those days there was no toll. But there was one guy in near Penukonda railway station. You know, Swami remembered that fellow also. He remembered toll and tells him, what is the toll? Penukonda railway station or Untad Chudakra. That fellow is there guarding the gate in Penukonda railway station. If you give him money, he will open the gate. If you don't give him money, the gate will be closed. No, even when there is no train going, the gate will be closed. Only if you give that fellow money, he will open the gate. So, and that fellow will not be there. You have to honk, he will be eating lunch or something. In our old days to Puttaparthi, this was our trip. Then that fellow will come and we'll say, open the gate. I say, we're getting late for darshan. Dabbiste kada. He'll say, first you give the money, then I will open the gate. So Swami remembered that fellow. See, that Penukonda fellow will be waiting there, collecting toll. What is the toll in your life's journey? All the problems that you face. All the difficulty. You have to pay the toll. Because you have taken that journey of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. You cannot escape the toll. You have to pay the toll. That fellow will open the gate. Finally, you have arrived in Prashanti Nilayam. You enter the gate of Prashanti Nilayam. You are hearing the music has started. And suddenly one good satsang. Hey, the music has started. Swami will be coming out. They will say, let us run. Swami's darshan has started. Couple of other people will be there, with attachment. So, what about hold on, suitcase, what to do with that? We can't leave it here and run. Then there will be one or two who will say, forget your hold on and suitcase. I want to see Swami. Whatever happens. That yearning soul will run and go and sit down and at a distance. Swami says, now juttu kanapadutundi. He says, from a distance you will see my hair. And you will sit down. And Swami is coming and you will look and you forget your hold on, your attachment, your suitcase, your luggage, your coffee powder, your sambar powder, everything. You are looking at it and as he comes your eyes are closed. You have come all the way but you have closed your eyes and Swami will say, Eppudocham? Swami will say, when did you come? But you cannot talk, your eyes are closed. Your throat is choked. Finally at 5 o'clock you have arrived at your destination. You cannot talk. Your senses are not working. Your senses are withdrawn. You are only seeing that blissful form and you are filled with Ananda. That is Paramananda. You have forgotten everything. You have forgotten your senses, you have forgotten your attachments, you have forgotten your company, you have forgotten your journey. You are immersed in the darshan of the Lord. That is Paramananda. And when you are able to experience that as much as possible in your life, as you are able to spend in the company of good people who will say, hey, it will become late, let us go to Prashanti Nilayam. As long as your friends will say, forget your hold on and your attachments, let us reach our destination of Prashanti Nilayam. Till such time, your journey will be deviated and it will be going here and there. That is Paramanandake Prasthana. That is the journey for eternal bliss. So you come to Prashanti Nilayam after Davangere. He said, you go to Davangere and you tell them what is Paramanandake Prasthana. What in that talk you tell them what is the true journey of the human life. You tell them and you finish that and you come to Prashanti Nilayam because I will always be there. That is what Swami said. So brothers and sisters, I think we have all made the decision to stay and go to Prashanti Nilayam, where Swami lived his life, spent his life, shared his message, and he has said in the physical way as well as in a spiritual way how our human journey should be, how we should drop away from these attachments and our focus has to be with him. So I thought that I should share that with you all today. I started exactly at 4:05, so I will finish now. Thanking you all really for giving me this opportunity to go back in the journey of my own life and making me again and again remember. I love to talk about Swami because I relive those incidents over and over again by sharing with all of you. And you are the ones who give me more joy actually by asking me to come and speak to all of you. So I hope, I know I took a while to tell you, but I think it is an important journey to make. That is why we are here. The others are all, other side tracks that we take in our lives are all just distractions to Penakonda for masala dosa or Pala Samudram because somebody told us to go there. So these are the distractions of life which are going to be there. But if we stay in the good company of good friends, stay in the good company of the right people, then I think our journey to Prashanti Nilayam or Paramananda, where our beautiful Lord is ever present, will welcome us to the point when we are unable to even answer his question because we are so filled with Ananda. Sai Ram, thank you for having me here today, and I'm really grateful to all of you for very quickly arranging this at very short notice and spending your Sunday afternoon with me. Sai Ram, thank you brothers.